What's going on, guys? So in today's video, I'm going to break down how I made my client $27,575 in just the first 12 days of working with them. And if you actually stick around to the end of this video and you sit and you actually concentrate and you take notes over the next 20 to 30 minutes and you apply what you've learned, this can literally make you an additional $20,000 to $30,000 plus per month. That's an additional 250 to 360K in a single year. And if you are a growth partner or growth operator and you actually take this and apply this to your clients, you're going to see some crazy results. So just to give you a little bit of context, this client came to me at around 10K per month, British pounds. And that's cash collected, around 20K in revenue, 10K cash collected. And he'd spent close to 30 grand in coaches, courses, etc., and didn't really see any phenomenal results, clearly. And it wasn't because the information he was getting wasn't good. It was just because he's super busy. He runs 3 businesses. He's a very successful entrepreneur. And to kind of juggle running 3 businesses, creating content, family life, like building a brand, it's extremely hard if you don't have the right team around you. So he brought me in kind of as a partner to help him grow. And within the first 12 days, we didn't just double his revenue. We made double what he made the month before in the first 12 days, right? So we done like 21, or actually over double. We done like 21 point something K. It worked out at exactly 27,575 USD. And so I'm going to break down exactly what we did, how everything works, how the funnel works, and kind of the process that we used. So it all starts with generating traffic/leads, and then it goes into booking appointments and actually nurturing those appointments or nurturing those leads, and then obviously converting the leads. So starting at the top of funnel, the goal here is that we want to generate as much traffic and as many leads as possible. Now, when it comes to actually marketing and generating leads, we definitely want a holistic approach, because although these are independent platforms that we can generate leads on, it's actually a very holistic approach. People generally are going to follow you across multiple platforms, and they definitely want to see multiple touch points generally before they're going to book an appointment. So it's very, very important to have like omni-channel marketing and multiple places that they can actually see you and build a relationship with you, and you build goodwill with them before they actually book an appointment. So the main source of traffic on this particular offer is actually Meta ads and IG, but I will go through all of them. Now with YouTube, you can see he's only been doing YouTube for about 2 months, but he's getting some decent views. Although he hasn't got tons of followers, his viewers are very much within his niche. So they are, although it's relatively low views, they are definitely very good quality. Now with YouTube, why YouTube is so effective is because you're able to have long form content, and the long form content that stays around for a long while. Like with Instagram Reels, for example, short form, it might get pushed out for a week or 2, but then it's gone, right? Whereas with YouTube, it can literally push out for months and years, and you're actually able to like build a lot of goodwill with your clients. When it comes to the type of content, we want content that is packed with value. We have how-tos and guides, building goodwill with your ideal client. And then we have the POV style content, which is also used for just like showing inspiration or, building inspiration, motivation, and really just inspiring your ICP, your ideal client profile. Now, when people watch those videos, they're doing it for entertainment, but they're also doing it because they want to get value and they want to learn something. So having a value-tainment kind of style content is really, really important with YouTube. Now, when it comes to the description, we're obviously talking about what's relevant within the video, but we also have a CTA that's very clear around time frame and what the outcome would be And if you want to achieve that outcome, click on this link. Come and watch the VSL and book a call. And then if someone's not ready for that just yet, if they just want some more content, if they just want to consume more content, then we also have the free school here, which again is another way to nurture the leads. But the idea here is obviously generate leads. We've got a clear call to action, directing leads to the actual funnel or directing leads to the free school for more nurturing. Now, both of these steps is obviously going to nurture the prospect, but going directly to the funnel is, definitely going to get people booking calls quicker, because the funnel should sell them enough and should build enough goodwill to and sell the call enough. The second lead source was Meta ads. And so we spent around £1,000 on Meta ads. I can't think of what that is in dollars off the top of my head, probably like 1250-ish, around that in dollars. So the return on ad spend is obviously phenomenal compared to like what we made. So we have a very, very good piece of copy. The ad creative has a very strong hook. It speaks to the pain points of the ideal client profile. And then we have a very clear call to action, which is to get access to the free school. That's the call to action. That is, or the lead magnet, I should say, a very clear call to action to fill in your details to get access to the free school, to have some free training on, what it is that we're teaching. And so the Facebook lead form allows us to get their info. So all we're doing is saying, are you interested in this? Yes. Name, email, phone number, so we can send you over the free resource. And that's it. As soon as they submit the lead form, we then have a option to view the website, which can direct them straight to the funnel. So we're generating the lead, right? We're generating the traffic, we're generating the lead with the lead form, but then they could also just go straight through and book a call, which we do actually have a decent amount of people that do that. So collecting the name, email, phone number, and then directing them to the VSL. Now, when it comes to TikTok, the good thing about TikTok and IG is you can actually repurpose content and put the same content on both. It's a very similar style between obviously Reels and TikTok. But with TikTok, he's got a very clear profile displaying his expertise, link towards the funnel, and also linking his IG. So you can see he's got close to 10K on here, which isn't really a ton for as far as TikTok goes. But the type of content that we was posting is engaging content that speaks directly to the ICP's pain points, people that are quite actually problem aware and kind of know what they're looking for. And then inspirational content, educational content, and then CTAs to either comment or link in bio. And I do know that link in bio doesn't work as well. I know they limit kind of your reach when you do link in bio, so we've tended to stop doing that. But it is more call to actions to comments now. And now with IG was definitely a good source of leads and a good source of traffic for us, because we had a lot of people that would see the Instagram ad and then they wouldn't actually sign up, or maybe they wouldn't sign up or go to the funnel, but they would actually follow the creator. And so what we have is a bio and a profile that's clear and displaying his expertise, talking about achievements, call to actions to the YouTube free training, and again, just to build like more value and build more goodwill with the prospect, and then highlights that show testimonials and case studies. Again, just building trust and building goodwill with that prospect. Now, a type of content similar to TikTok is engaging content, speaking to the ICP's pain points, clipping up podcast, which again is just going to position you as an authority, as an authoritative figure. People that go on podcast are successful, right? If someone's asking to go on a podcast, it means you're successful. Giving free value, creating inspirational content, and again, building goodwill with the customer. CTAs are going to be commenting keywords. So you can see here's a couple of videos that he's done and got some decent views, right? So generated a decent amount of traffic. And then also story sequences, just to generate like interested prospects. So story sequences that tell a story, showcase case studies, talking to the ICP's pain points, and a clear call to action. This is an example of a story sequence from the main man, Mahiz. I just thought this would be a good example to show, so you can get a good idea for like how the story sequences work. Obviously, the call to action is going to be DM me a certain word, and then that's how you're going to generate the lead or going to generate the traffic. So these are all the 4 traffic sources. Now, everything obviously funnels down into booking appointments and nurturing leads ready to obviously convert and close. So the goal here is to book as many qualified appointments as humanly possible, nurture them, warm them up so they're actually ready to buy there and then on the call. Now, there's 5 different ways that we booked calls, 5 different paths or avenues that they would go down. The main ones are going to be these 3 in the middle, which is the VSL, IGDMs, and phone setting. Now, the first 12 days, a lot of it actually came from the IGDMs. Now, since then, we've actually been getting a lot more through the VSL, but in this case, where we're talking around the 27K, a lot of it did actually come from the IGDMs because there was a lot of inefficiencies that we fixed, and that got us got us a decent amount of sales. So, as far as this free school group, everyone that comes through the ads gets access to this link. Now, as you can imagine, not everybody joins. Actually, a lot of people don't join, which is fine, but we have 581 members within the free school. The purpose is to provide free value, showcase studies and testimonials to obviously build goodwill, create a cool community where people can come and actually get some free knowledge or connections, pre-educate them, pre-sell them, and obviously nurture them. When they do book a call, there's 2 ways that they do it. Either a DM setter, the DM setter will go in there and do outreach. You tend to get a much lower reply rate on school because it's just not a platform that most people use every day. And especially if they're like very new to like online education or like e-learning, they might never like log into school again. They might just watch a few videos and never log in again. So yeah, you're definitely going to get a much lower reply rate, but you should definitely get your setter reaching out to new people and trying to set in there. But also we have been doing some CTAs with CTA posts with like a direct link to either the funnel or the booking page. Obviously, when the DM setter is setting, he is finding out their current situation, desired situation, the gap, what's holding them back from achieving it, and then financial qualification. We don't really do too much than that because the closer can pretty much cover everything. As long as we know that they are qualified, like we know that the closers are a very, very good level, so they will close. Now, just being kind of real, we haven't had tons that have been coming through school. It's definitely something that we're going to focus on more, but actually having it here is beneficial because even if people don't necessarily book through school, when someone does book a call, if you can send them to the free school and have them consume information and consume knowledge, they're going to be so much more pre-sold when they come onto the call. So yeah, you don't necessarily have to look at it as in we didn't book loads of appointments. I can say with a lot of confidence that the fact that we have the school and the fact that they can consume free information has increased our close rate. And so what you can also do with school, obviously you can give free source, but what you can actually do is just link all of the YouTube videos to school, and then everything is in one place with different sections of, or different categories. So it just makes them actually consuming the information that's already on YouTube in a just much more complete way, or a much more structured fashion. So hopefully that makes sense. And so the second way that we are booking appointments is through the VSL. And so having a good VSL, having a good landing page is super important. This is kind of a structure of what yours should look like. This is what ours look like. So your logo, talking to your ICP, offer headline or big promise, and then kind of like risk reversal and then a guarantee. If you use Alex Hormozi's kind of framework, you'll create an amazing offer headline for your funnel. So we help niche, do goal in time frame using unique mechanism without pain point and risk reversal. Sometimes you could miss one of these out. Like you don't necessarily have to do unique mechanism. I think it is still good. We don't necessarily talk about a unique mechanism, but we do everything else. A lot of the traffic actually came through this funnel. So it's very important for us to actually have a funnel that's like simple, but also looked good. I think when you start creating really complicated funnels, you can overcomplicate it and you can confuse the prospect. And when there's too many things to read or click on, etc., it just defeats the object, which is it's there to get the client to book a call. That's it. Get the client to book a call and obviously build a little bit more trust and maybe do a little bit of pre-selling. Now we've got a one-pager, so everything's on one page. The video, like offer headline video, book a call, and then testimonials. So it's like step 1, step 2. So you can see here, you obviously have your logo, company name, or offer name, whatever. Now, the purpose is obviously to book leads directly from MetaRads, take action quickly, get them to actually book right away, nurture leads that are booked. So some people that may have booked through YouTube or DMs, we will actually send them this funnel just so they can see the video, because the video is going to pre-educate them and also do a little bit of pre-selling, but also to show social proof, and like I say, pre-educate them. Now, as far as testimonials, you just want something very simple like this: offer name, one liner of what they achieved, maybe their age. Like if it's pretty incredible, like on this particular offer, we have like some 18-year-olds that are doing 5-10K a month plus. So having their age can really encourage people. But yeah, the more testimonials, the better. If you've got loads of testimonials, you're just going to convert so much more. You're going to get so much more booked calls. Ideally, you want it to be like people are just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to the point where it's like it's actually boring how many testimonials we're seeing. If you have that many testimonials, like yeah, it's so easy for you to be able to scale to like 6 figures a month and beyond. So that is the funnel. Now IGDMs, like I say, these 12 days we focused a lot on the IGDMs. It has slowed down a little bit just because the funnel has been working so much more efficiently. So it means that less people are actually going to the DMs because most people are just now booking straight from the funnel. So it's a mixture of inbound and outbound. So outbound to all the new followers. Now this was very, very key because people that weren't coming through the funnel initially were following us on Instagram. So we'd get the setter to reach out and say, hey, the creator's name. So let's just say, hey, John here. Thanks for following. Appreciate the support. Just out of curiosity, are you into niche, right? Let's say sneaker reselling as well. And that's how we start the conversation. And then from there, just qualifying them, their current situation, their desired situation, the gap on what's holding them back from achieving it, financial qualification, creating urgency, and then proposing the call and obviously getting them to confirm on the calendar. Something that's really important here, just to know, with like financial qualification, if you've got like financing options, obviously financial qualification is important, but not as important. The main thing for us is like students typically won't be able to do the financing option because they might not even have enough to afford it. But anyone that's like employed or entrepreneur self-employed, like 95% of them are going to be able to afford it and will actually want to do the financing option, and it doesn't really make a difference for us. So we don't need to financially qualify as hard. But if you don't have those options, then you definitely want to like financially qualify pretty hard, in the nicest way possible, so that it's in the best interest of your client, because you just don't want to waste their time. You don't want to waste your closer's time either. The second way is phone setting. Again, phone setting has been quite key for us as well. I mentioned that VSL, IGDMs, and phone setting were the main ways, but even more so this month, it's been really, really key. So we have all the new leads that come in through the MetaRads go to this pile within GHL. We also have a Slack channel. So every single new lead that comes in, we get a notification that a new lead has come in. We have callback. So if we call someone and like they are super busy and we've tried to, overcome the objection, they literally can't. Or if they wanted some free resources first, they weren't ready and we need to call them back, they go into this pile. And then we have a no answer 1 to 2, 3 to 4. We also have a 5. I didn't include it on here. And after 5, we can consider them kind of dead and they just go into more of a nurture sequence. And then also no shows and cancelled. So this is where the phone setter should actually be setting from. If you're not calling no shows and cancelled and no answers, like there's a lot of inefficiencies and you're missing out on money there. So like I say, we use GHL to actually manage the leads. And like I mentioned, all meta leads from opt-ins actually go there. Now, a key thing for the phone setter, you want your phone setter to be calling the new leads within 5 to 10 minutes. Obviously, their goal is to book appointments and then also confirm the leads from all sources on the day of the meeting. So even ones that book through on their own on the funnel, you need to get your setter to ring them. And so you should probably pay unless your setter can make really good money, I would definitely advise paying your setter a base salary just so they can actually do these tasks like confirming calls, because it's going to just increase your sharp rates and just going to make the process a lot smoother. They're going to qualify leads. If we've noticed, for example, that we've had like students or something that have come through on the auto bookings, then we're going to make sure that students for example, are being financially qualified, or if people have said they have no money at all, then we check to see if they could like afford the financing option. So, and also just making sure leads are adding calls, making sure that the leads add in the calls to their calendars and confirming the calls. So as far as the setting process goes, if we're setting a brand new lead, it's going to be intro and report. Check out if they have the free resource, asking kind of what made them sign up, and what made them interested in our particular program or niche, or free resource, and then just finding out the desired situation, which you could also see, call it North Star, how long they've been wanting to get there, what they've tried, tie down on wanting/needing outside help, why now is the right time and / urgency, a tie down and commitment that they definitely want to make a change now, and then propose the call. And then at that stage, financially qualify if we need to as they're booking the call. There's definitely some more source that I could share here, and I've got a very, very good script. So if you want access to that, I'm happy to give it away to the right people. Just DM me on Instagram and I'll be happy to actually share that with you. Or I might just do another video on it. So comment if you want me to do a video on more in depth on the actual phone setting process. Now, going into SMS and email, this is very key for all of the opt-ins, because you're going to have people that opt in that either we just can't catch them at the right time because they're super busy. They opt in and maybe they forget. They opt in, but they don't answer from numbers they don't know. They opt in and maybe they put the wrong phone number. There could be loads of reasons why they just don't pick up or don't book a call yet, or maybe they're just not ready, right? There is a percentage of people that are just not going to be ready. They're not financially ready. They're just super busy. They like the idea, but they're not completely sold on an appointment yet. So having this lead nurture sequence, you're definitely going to have more appointments, right? You're not going to spend any more money, but you're going to have more appointments. And that's what's going to make your ROAS so good if you actually have these kind of sequences. So as far as this sequence, it's a 30-day sequence. Within the first 5 minutes, we're going to send them a email, which gives them the free score. And we're also going to send them an SMS. I'll show you what the template is below. Basically just saying what had them interested when they saw the ad, or what had them interested when they came across the video. And that's also going to tell us who are the hot leads and not. Because people can sign up. If they're replying to that video right away, the setter knows, wow, they're hot. They're telling us exactly why they're interested in the ad, exactly what they're looking for. And we know to prioritize those leads when we've got a lot of leads coming in. After the initial messages, the next day we have another SMS and another email. And then every other day for the next 5 days, we have emails. Now, after the initial first messages, so these two are just going to be reminders to check out the free resource. Everything after is just going to be nurturing for the next 25 days. Right, so you can see for 5 days we're doing emails, and then it's like 7 days, another email, 7 days, another email, 7 days, another email, 7 days, another email, 5 days. These two emails here and this SMS, these are where we're actually doing call to actions. A call to action to book a call, a call to action to book a call, because now we've built up a lot of value and should have given them enough time. And then an SMS, which is reply a keyword in order to get a result. So if it was like sneaker reselling, for example, if you're ready to start your sneaker reselling business to get to 10K a month, reply the word resell and we'll show you how, or we'll help you, for example. So that's worked. It's definitely worked well. We got an okay amount, but it will start to pick up a lot more as we start to increase ad spend and obviously get more leads in. Now, this just gives you basically what I just explained, but this is the template. It's literally, hey, whatever their name is, the creator full name here. I saw you were checking out our video or ad. Obviously, you use one or the other. What made you interested in what you saw? So that's going to really determine who's extremely warm, who's ready right now for a call, who's ready to get started, and why do they want to get started. Now, all of these, they all are going to go into the same pre-call process. If everything is good, if you're putting out a lot of content, if you're putting out a lot of goodwill, people by this point are already going to feel pretty good about your offer and are going to have quite a lot of trust, but they might not necessarily value the call. And we did have this issue at first where we had a decent amount of no-shows. because the pre-call process wasn't good enough. And so if you don't have a good pre-call process, it's going to mean you have a low show-up rate. It means that people are not going to respect and value the call. People are going to show up late. People are not going to turn their cameras on. People are not going to show up with, their partners or their other decision makers. So having this good pre-call process means they're not only educated, but you've built up enough goodwill so they trust you, and they actually see the sales call as something valuable. Now, obviously, you don't ever want to call it a sales call, but they want to see this call as something that's truly valuable, so they actually show up. So what we have is we have a thank you page. So any link they book through, anytime they book a call, it always redirects them to this thank you page. The first step is we want to make sure they confirm the call and add it to their calendar, because that's going to increase your show up rate massively. It's actually going to be on their calendar. They're not going to forget. But then we actually have a video. But then we actually have a pre-call video where the creator goes into how to prepare for the call, how to confirm the call. And we just make some things very, very clear. We make it clear that, and look, I'll actually just show you this. We make it clear that they need to confirm the call, that they need to be on time, and if they're running late, they need to let us know. If they need to reschedule or can't make the call, you have to let us know or you'll be blacklisted. Make sure all the business partners are present. Make sure you're focused on the call for the full 45 minutes set aside, and make sure you check out all the testimonials below on the page below. Now, there's a few slides that we go through, but we just make it so clear that, if you do not follow these rules, if you do not actually prepare for the call and show up on time, you will be blacklisted from our service, and we'll just cancel all future calls. So when you do that, people are going to respect you a lot more. They're going to respect the call a lot more, and they're actually going to show up. So yeah, this is just kind of repeating what I just mentioned. Now, provided you have good techniques for booking calls and your pre-call process in place, then it all comes down to closing the leads. Now, obviously, the goal here is to close as many deals as possible that are the right fit, people that you can actually help. Something that's key here is not just signing anybody up. Obviously, the goal of these businesses is to make money, but it's also to help people. And if you're closing people that aren't the right fit, it's just going to cause you headaches. So, yeah, have some morals, and you'll probably do well. Now, I just wanted to break down the actual numbers of exactly what we done. So these were the exact figures. So revenue generated that we done was 30K, 30,371. Cash collected 21,383, and that's pounds, and that's what it is in dollars. We booked 65 appointments in the 12 days. We had 3 cancelled, 23 no-shows, 4 reschedules, 35 showed up, 11 deals closed. So you can see right here, our show-up rate was pretty low, and that's because in the beginning, I hadn't yet implemented the thank you video. So just so you know, since then, our show-up rate is more at 65%. Still relatively low. A good show-up rate, including your cancelled calls, would be probably around 60%, including cancelled. But realistically, excluding cancelled calls, you want to be above 70%, 75%. And obviously with cancelled, you want to make sure you're rebooking them. So that's from my experience. But yeah, if you can get close to 70, 80% show up rate, you're going to be in a good position. Now, KPIs in terms of closing rates, anything below 20 to 25%, there's problems somewhere in your sales process. You're not qualifying hard enough, your closers aren't doing a good enough job, you haven't built up enough trust, you've got a bad pre-call process, closers obviously underperforming, or bad objection handling, which kind of comes under closer performance as well. You really want to be at 30 to 50% and above. Obviously, you can go much, much, much higher, but yeah, 30 to 50% is a very good range. Now, as far as the sales process that we used the objection box framework, kind of a North Star framework. If you know Bill Walsh, he's very, very, very good. Definitely recommend following that process. Focusing on also just having a normal conversation. Sales is my background, so I've worked as a closer for the last couple of years. I've closed close to $3 million. So I definitely know what I'm talking about with closing. Definitely not the best closer in the world. There's definitely some people that are doing crazy, crazy, crazy numbers. But nothing beats actually just having a normal conversation like a normal person. When we try and follow a script too much, when we try and like ask questions because we're trying to get a sale, like the actual conversation you have doesn't flow, it doesn't feel natural, you're not connecting with the prospect, and that goes so long. Like that goes such a long way. If you actually connect with a prospect and actually just have a normal conversation, actually see how you can help them, your close ratio is going to be so much better, and you're going to actually enjoy it. Because pretending to be someone, and this is the issue, this is the only bad thing about when you learn from a sales trainer or go through a program, is a lot of people try to be like them, and then it's just like you're an actor, and it just kills your energy. So yeah, be yourself, have a normal conversation, but obviously use the framework, because that's what's going to get you results. But building very strong rapport in the beginning, strong active listening is so key. Nobody wants to repeat themselves, and if they don't feel like you're listening to them, like you're not going to close them. Selling without a script in front of you, so just really knowing the framework and just using it for what it is, a framework, not a script. Strong objection handling, but saying that if the discovery is good, there shouldn't be any objections. There should only be logistics, which might just be timing, that I'm really busy right now, etc. But a lot of that is kind of excuses anyway, but you can definitely overcome that. Or, maybe a financial logistics, maybe they have to wait to get paid. But again, there's ways to go around that. So what it would look like is your introduction, the North Star, which is going into like the goals, the why nows, etc. Future pacing. So what does it look like when we get you to that goal? Who does that allow you to become? How does that affect you, your family, etc.'s lives? Cost of inaction if you need to. On this offer, we don't really need to do cost of inaction, especially when it's like younger people. Cost of inaction doesn't land as hard because they don't have so much responsibilities. Cost of inaction works better when you have people that like actually have a family and stuff. You can definitely do cost of inaction, but actually with the younger people, which is more of what we get, doing a why now question is enough to really build the urgency. And I'll give you an example of a why now question, particularly if you've got younger people that are like 18 to 25. A good kind of why now question would be, look, like you're 23 years old. Most people your age, they are going out partying, they're drinking, they are having fun, they're living their life. Like they're not really too bothered about success or creating a better life financially just yet. And that's fine, because most people, you could probably do that for another 5 years and you'd be fine. So why are you different? Why is now so important that you actually need to focus on your future and making positive changes? And then they are going to sell the fuck out of you on why they need to do this now, why it's so important now. And it just makes the whole conversation so much easier. Now, obviously, mindset, I just want to be very, very clear on mindset when it comes to closing. Complete detachment from the outcome, being congruent. And when I say being congruent, if you're a closer that is selling a high ticket product or a high ticket item, but you have never bought a high ticket product yourself, how can you tell someone that's what they need to do in order to be successful? Or if you're selling a fitness program, but you're out of shape, like right now, I'm not in the best shape. I've lost 10 kilos, but I've still got a long way to go. Maybe I could sell a fitness program now because I'm really on my fitness right now and I have lost 10 kg. But like 10 kg ago, when I was like super fat, I couldn't sell a fitness program because that's not congruent. How can I ask someone to make better decisions on their fitness? How can someone take me seriously? But also just leading the conversation. If you're not a leader in your life, if you are not going out there and like being better every single day and making difficult decisions and, pushing the boat out and actually getting uncomfortable on it like regularly, how can you ask someone else to do it? So it makes objection handling so much harder. It makes sales so much harder because there's this subconscious energy, I guess, between you where they can't trust you because you can't trust yourself because you're not doing the things that you're asking them to do. So that's why, even though just being a closer, you're not necessarily a leader per se, because you're not a manager or anything like that, you are still a fucking leader. You still have to be a really good leader in order to be successful at closing. But yeah, obviously conviction in the product is like a given. If you don't believe in the product, yes, you can get laydowns. But when it actually comes to like objection handling, you're not going to be very good, because again, there's going to be this undertone of just like not honesty, or not believing in them, or you're not actually transferring certainty. So yeah, conviction in the product goes such a long way. And then also closer, like if you're closing your own deals, as a business owner, you probably should enjoy your life because you own a business. But particularly for if you have closers, they need to actually enjoy their lives outside of sales. If you've got a closer that's working 7 days a week, taking 8, 9, 10 calls a day, now there's a very, very small percentage of closers that can do that and be happy, but most closers will not be happy. So you need to make sure that your closers are actually enjoying their life outside of sales. They're going to the gym, they've got hobbies that they like, they've got good relationships, because when you're actually happy in your life, you come to the closing calls in a much better state. And yeah, they'll just close a lot more. But yeah, locked in on all areas, it kind of speaks for itself. Health, wealth, relationships, etc. As a salesperson, if all you're worried about is like making enough to like pay your bills, it makes it just so much more difficult, and you are going to be thinking less about the prospect and more about you trying to pay your bills. So yeah, just making sure you're locked in on all areas, and then you can just be super detached. And something that's key, and hopefully these gifts will play, fulfillment. Fulfillment, you could say fulfillment is the most important thing, but the thing is, if you don't have sales, you have no one to fulfill. So they are on par. Like obviously you need sales, but if you are not fulfilling for the customer, if you are not getting results, not enough people talk about this, but if you're not getting results, yeah, you might make some money temporarily, but there's going to be no longevity in your offer or your company. You're going to get loads of bad reviews, and yeah, eventually it will just go to shit. But if you have good fulfillment, if you're actually getting people results, and look, no one's perfect. You're going to have people that come in and you can do everything under the sun, and they're not going to get results because they don't do the work, and they're still probably going to complain. You want to try and avoid bringing those people and spot signs of what those people look like. You can definitely do that, because it's not worth the headache for the money. But yeah, just making sure you fulfill. The more testimonials you get, the easier it will be, and the more referrals you're going to get. So yeah, fulfillment is so key. And that kind of wraps up the video, guys. So that's the funnel. That's the exact funnel that we are using. It's the exact same funnel that we used to generate $27,575 in 12 days. It's the same funnel that's going to make us 65K plus this month. Come January, it's going to be making us 100K plus. But not just that, actually creating really good results for our students. Our students are absolutely crushing it, which is the key thing. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, comment below. If you are interested in working with me, if you're running a course, like if you're selling a course, if you are running a coaching program, any kind of thing in the info space, and you want to work with me, currently I'm not taking on any clients. I'm at full capacity. But if you DM me, we can definitely have a chat. You can join my waitlist. Yeah, see you in the next one, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, like, subscribe. See you soon.